help work on Remy's Ratatouille adventure, and we get to go on a sneak tour today, so that's really exciting. Thank you for joining us. I really wanted to kind of start out about Imagineering in itself and how Imagineering kind of came about and whatnot, and also start out with the France Pavilion and what we're doing here at the Epcot Transformation. So I think you guys talked to Scott before. Awesome guy. So he probably mentioned, right, we have a huge Epcot transformation going on. And in that transformation, we're really, sorry, I'm trying to get the sun here. We're really trying to make those real world as fantastical as it gets, right? And really showcase those stories that the real world inspires. So when we decided to bring Remy's Ratatouille adventure here to Epcot, it's a perfect fit. Right, we have the perfect family, we have the perfect French culture, and really bring out a lot of history of the French cuisine, the French language, everything within our existing Epcot France Pavilion. So before we kind of dive into the meat and potatoes of what Remy's Ratatouille adventure and the land leading up to it is, I kind of wanted to give us a little bit of story detail and a little bit of background. Here at Imagineering, story informs design always, right? We create these amazing experiences and interactive fun with our guests, all influenced from story. So when the French Pavilion here at Epcot was built in 1982, Imagineers really wanted to capture a lot of the architectural, stylistic, and detail of the French culture and history all in one. So this, what we see here, is kind of like a snapshot of what we call the La Belle Epoque era, which is around the 1850-1900s. However, the stylistic kind of doesn't stop there, right? We went even previously before that era, and we have a architectural detail on La Petite Rue, which is kind of in the back over there, which you probably have never noticed before, that the provincial era of French history is really emoted in that street over there. So you can see kind of like hand-laid stone and hand-stained stone, and it's really just more along that 1600s time frame in lieu of being in that 1850, which you see here in the kind of front house of the France Pavilion. So when we go back into Remy's world, just kind of keep that in mind of that seamless transition. We had a big job when we created Remy's Ratatouille adventure. We had to fit inside this existing pavilion, right? But still also bring Remy's Ratatouille to life and Remy's Paris to life. So with that, I think we'll probably head over into the first act or the of what we are trying to build for Remy's Ratatouille adventure. How many of you guys have seen this before? Have you guys been to the park? Awesome. So this begins our transition, right, from La Belle Epoque era really into the Remy's version of what Paris is like, right? There's a strategic placement of why we chose this placemaking and this wayfinding. It's right next to this awesome river that kind of emotes that River Seine feel, right? So as you walk into this Parisian park, you're really feeling like you're walking alongside the Seine and getting in all of the views and all of that French culture that we really want you to feel. We also spare no expense and spare no detail is left unturned, right? When we talk about how we are going to find that experience and really embody that feeling of what it's like to walk inside Paris. And so this archway that we see here, this entrance, is to evoke that Art Nouveau type feel, which is a really big design intent of what the metro inside Paris is like. That lettering that we chose is exactly what you would see on a Paris metro, right? And this is kind of that wayfinding to let our guests know that we are going inside of this Parisian park to eventually get to what Remy's Paris is going to look like. So I'll bring us through, right? But once we go through, I really want us to focus on some of those details I was talking about. So at this point, we are still inside France and still inside what those original Imagineers are trying to bring us into that French culture. And so we don't exactly see a lot of what Remy's Paris is yet, but we do see these cool little rat details, these rat motifs is what we call them, inside things like the Parisian park benches, right? So once we go through those single layer benches that are also very indicative of what those we would see inside France. We see light posts that are very, very similar to what you would see on the River Seine. We see details inside the iron railing of maybe Ratatouille and Remy and his friends. So take a look as we go through and really try to get yourself inside of like that Parisian mentality and understand what we might have seen, you know, inside walking down the River Seine. So we see, right, we point over to here on your right, take a look at that railing. We can really see Remy, kind of that detailing. I don't know, can you guys, I'll point it out over here, but this mat motif, all intentional, right, to make you feel like you're actually getting inside the story now. So this is the tail, and it kind of pans out into what Remy would be. Very cool detail. Along with these benches, right, we see Remy kind of along the side. Just these small hidden details are really what make Imagineering different and Imagineering great. We like to make sure that you completely feel like you're inside this film. All the way from these decomposed granite look of this roadway that we're on right now. So kind of hard to see without the light, right? But you can see here specifically, there is a worn down look as you get closer to the center of this, right? Strategically painted kind of so that you can feel like this is the worn path. And as you get closer to the center, this is not where most people walk. So you can see that that is kind of emoted all the way down. It's the small little details that really make you feel like this is absolutely, you stepped into the film of Ratatouille. All right, we can continue down. Everything from the trees, the plants, all picked with intention to keep that authentic Parisian culture.